different teams. Hopefully their bikes will finish this moto. And then the ruts are brutal. They're tough. It's getting hotter. The shadows are getting longer. And we've seen already in the first motos, the ruts is the be-all and end-all of winning this race.
That's the KTM keys to the moto. Fly Racing 30-second card is about to come up. And Nicole has it. So now the riders are within 30 seconds of starting this race. Now, the first moto from an hour ago was as exciting as any motocross race I've ever seen. So many passes, riders back and forth from second through ninth. They all pushed toward the leader, Alex Martin, but he was able to hold on and take his first moto win of the season. Can he hold on to get the overall win? What about your points leader, Zach Osborne? Early crash, finished 8th. He needs a bounce back here. This is going to be a good one.
Oh, I think there's probably 6-7 riders that would have said, I could have won that first moto, but we'll find out now who will.
And a gaggle of Kawasaki's into the first turn and out of it. It's Joey Savacci grabbing the whole shot. Mitchell Harrison and Aaron Plessinger come through next, and then trying to snake through the inside to 6 of Jeremy Martin.
Well, a lot of the same riders from the first moto up front in Moto 2. Great start from Savacci. Now you start wondering who are the other heavy hitters that are not up front. Where is Moto 1 winner Alex Martin? Where is your current points leader, Zach Osborne? They come down the hill. Timing and scoring shows us Osborne is in 10th. But look at this battle for the lead already.
Oh, Plessinger.
Goes,
yeah, able to make the move on Savacci. So into the number 1 spot. Out of Ohio, the Yamaha Star Racing rider. Oh!
Back to the inside.
Get it back, yeah.
Now it's a drag race down the hill. Who's going to lead the braking lane? Oh! Plessinger, foot off the peg, gets the inside, shuts that door closed on Savacci. And now Savacci's got to worry about his, Plessinger's teammate, Mitchell Harrison. He also had a great first moto. Yeah, and another one of the Star Racing Yamaha riders is up there as well. That would be Ferrandis, who struggled 9th in the first moto. I believe he had an early problem, a bad start, and came all the way through. You put Ferrandis up in this mix, he can do some damage in 4th place there as well. Won the second moto last week when we were in California. But right now, Savacci trying to hold on. He's in a Yamaha sandwich right now. Yeah, that's not the sandwich he wants to be in. He'd rather be out front with a gap. But he's looked good all weekend. And Savacci hasn't had that breakout ride. We were talking about it earlier. Last year, 5 out of the first 9 motos. Yeah. And, he seemed to set the tone. This year, a little bit different. But we've seen a lot of riders enjoying some success, but some struggles. Not everyone's had, we'll put it this way, no one's had 5 good motos, except, in my opinion, has to be Colt Nichols. Someone that wasn't on everyone's radar, but he's been like 4th, 5th, or 6th every moto. Yeah, he's been pretty darn consistent. So right now, could it be Plessinger's chance to go out there and win a moto? Savacci, Harrison, Ferrandis a real wild card here. We did not get to see him in the first moto, the Frenchman. But you give him a good start, he can do something with it. Here's Harrison, who was as high up as 2nd early in Moto 1 before dropping back to 11th. Maybe that torrid pace at the beginning of it got to him. But right now, they've actually got the drop on Jeremy Martin here in the number 6 to Geico Honda. You know who I'd be worried about if I was these guys, that green bike, and you're shot right there, the 24, Austin Faulkner. And he's got Alex Martin right behind him. But it just seemed to me like Faulkner found something special late in the second half of that first moto. See if he can keep that going here. He's close right up on Jeremy Martin, but he has Alex, our first moto winner, on the 26 right behind him. And Zach Osborne is in the fight as well. So we might have an even better setup for the battle that we had in Moto 1 here in Moto 2. So Faulkner, the meat and the Martin sandwich. Yeah. And everyone trying to hug down to the inside. This track has gotten so much rougher. For an hour of racing has already been put down on it. Ferrandis has made a quick move on his teammate Harrison. So Ferrandis now 3rd. With Plessinger and Savacci 1-2. You got to watch out for that Frenchman. He is very sneaky. Unorthodox riding style, unorthodox line selection. But it seems to be working for him. Oh, and now Martin looking for room on Harrison. Georgia, what do you have on Ferrandis, 3rd place rider, 108?
Yes, he's definitely gained more confidence coming into this race because he took that moto win last weekend. But in the first moto, he hit the gate. Now that's kind of the apprehension of getting the gate coming down, and he hit it wasn't able to get out of the start, so he started about 30 foot back from the pack. So that was his disadvantage in that one. But getting a good start here, I think he's definitely got what it takes to maybe take another Moto win.
Well, Jason, we saw in the first Moto, Yamaha did get hung up, and you said, was that Ferrandis? Because he was buried in the pack at the end of lap 1, and thanks for confirming that, Georgia. So we do know what happened. So Ferrandis literally came from 40th to 9th in that first Moto, and he's shown us he's got the pace. I was curious how long it would take for him to adjust to American motocross racing, because there is a difference. Look at this fork there. Oh, trying to do, I think, what he did earlier on Martin, which was go that long way around. But as you can tell, the lines, the exit of the corner came together. So he's got to remount the charge. Lost a couple of bike links there. Now Faulkner's got to watch out for Alex Martin.
This is incredible how quickly it's changing. Mitchell Harrison almost fell off the motorcycle.
And that's where he struggled in the first Moto.
Yeah.
He kept losing some positions there. That leaning to the left of those big ruts going uphill. Some guys, I know it may sound crazy, but they feel more comfortable leaning through ruts on the left or to the right. And Jeremy Martin likes going to the left or the right. Scrub this, drag race up the hill. Look at these guys. So Harrison's got the inside. Martin goes to the outside. How's this going to work out there?
No room at all, but Jeremy's still able to make it work. A big scrub from Harrison, throwing the bike sideways. And despite all of his efforts, Jeremy Martin finally able to lock down the 4th place spot. Ferrandis just ahead in 3rd.
That's about as close as you get, being inches apart without actually making any contact. Good, clean, hard racing up front and early. And this is awesome. And then you got Osborne shadowing this whole pack. We saw first Moto. Yes, it wasn't a typical Zach Osborne Moto. Well, I'll say that after 4 Motos of the season, we almost expect him to kind of move forward. Even with clear track, he didn't light the world on fire. He kind of stayed, in that neutral zone. But Faulkner, Faulkner was the one that was on a mission in the first Moto. We saw Plessinger on a mission at one point, but I'm not sure what happened. He said he seemed to lose the pace in the second half of the Moto.
Yeah, Plessinger, after a great run early, ended up finishing not where he wanted for sure, heading into this one outside of the top 5, but now into the lead. So can Plessinger deliver his first Moto win of the season in what has been a crazy day of racing?
I'm Aaron Plessinger, and you're watching Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship on NBC Sports.
So, Plessinger looked good in the first Moto at times. So did this guy. So did that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody looked good at some point of the Motos, but we saw riders stronger in the beginning, weak in the end, and vice versa. Ferrandis, we didn't see him on camera much. We were just able to track.
Somebody's down.
That is Plessinger.
Your leader is down and way off the track.
And his bike is in a bad position. If these riders don't know where to go, someone may land on it.
Cianciarulo. How did he not go down?
And that's not his fault. That's just a flagger needs to get there in the way. And for Plessinger, this is Russian roulette trying to get back to his bike. He's basically saying somebody.
He's saying, look, I'm going to go to last place. I'm going to go to last place because I can't get back on the track.
Yeah, the flag is not doing him any favors there. Oh, come on, guys. Somebody get out there and help him out.
I don't know exactly what they can do here, and it has now cost. Someone has gone down with the bike on the other side of the jump.
He's saying what I said. You got to get out and let them know.
So you got to stand on the track.
Pretty much.
You're saying they need to go on the crowd.
Yeah. Riders will never hit you, but if they can't see a bike on the backside of a jump, somebody's going to get hit.
Well, the damage is done now. Plessinger has gone all the way to essentially last place. I thought we had seen everything we could possibly see in one of these races, and we just saw something new. Plessinger crashes out of the lead and is now last place. So,
and that was Hempen that went down with him.
Whoever grabbed that flag there, that's the one that actually, I think that might be Nick Way, who actually works with. I think it's Nick Way who works with Cianciarulo, of course, a longtime great pro in his own right out here.
He's saying what I'm saying. You got to get out in the middle of the track. it's a blind jump.
Yep. And
it's intimidating if you're not used to that, to step out on the track. But these guys are trained professionals. They will step in the way. Oh, sorry, change the direction to make sure they avoid you.
It's shocking what has happened. And through it all, Joey Savatgy now finds himself with the lead. 4th in Moto 1. The overall is going to be all sorts of mixed up. He's got a shot at it. Well, on what has already been a wild day of racing, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross from Colorado, we have seen something new happen in this section right here.
Yeah, Aaron Plessinger went down right over this blind jump, and unfortunately, being on the backside of a blind jump, a lot of riders came over. He couldn't step out on the track. Anyone that's raced knows going to get your bike on the blind side of the jump is very, very risky. I learned the hard way as a kid. If they can't see you, it's tough. And Plessinger went down the bad spot and basically had to wait for everybody to come by, and that's absolutely ruined his race.
Yeah, now he is outside of the top 30, and Savatgy, who is second here on the 17, is in the lead. Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider. Ferrandis, who is third, gets shuffled up to second, and Jeremy Martin up to third. And a shout out, the NBC Sports Gold app gives you an opportunity to watch every single moto and our practice session every Saturday. So go purchase a subscription to that today if you want to catch every single minute of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross throughout the season. Joey Savatgy trying to win his first moto of the season, and we can show you what happened to Plessinger while we are away at break here on TV.
Watch the top part of your screen. It's already happened. You see the yellow flag comes out, but Plessinger, there you see him run off the left. He already knew that he was in some trouble, and his bike's on the backside of the jump. Now watch, he's trying to come back on the track.
He's trying to tell the flaggers, walk to the center of the track so the riders know the bike is there. And then someone lands on the motorcycle and goes down. He wants the flagger to stand in the middle of the track and tell these riders, look, there's a bike down. That could have been a disaster if a couple other riders piled in there. Also, Adam Cianciarulo, who's 8th place right now, he landed on the bike and was so lucky he bounced off of Plessinger's bike and right into the rut that he wanted and somehow did not crash. That could have been disaster for him as well. Ferrandis in second, starting to close on our leader Savatgy. Then it's Jeremy Martin. Then it's Forkner. Osborne has made the moves. Osborne has gotten around our first moto winner, Alex Martin. Trying to figure out the overall win today would be crazy. If it ended here, the overall win would actually go to Joey Savatgy. But there's a long way to go. And one of the spoilers in it is Ferrandis, 9th in the first moto after getting stuck in the starting gate. He tried to time the start. He mistimed it. He got stuck in it. Came from last to 9th. He's a real spoiler running in second right now. Here's Osborne.
Yeah, so for Osborne, not exactly the greatest of weekends. I think his best pace came from that first session when obviously the track was arguably at its best, or as you know, less rough, because it's just getting beat up right now. Oh, look at that. Amon just scrubbed that jump. He is on a mission at the moment. Oh, the mistake. Osborne off the track. Ooh. Rejoins at the nearest safest place without gaining an advantage, so that's legal right there. But not the weekend maybe Osborne was hoping for, but we did hear from him before the start of the race that he had been dealing with some sickness and health issue this week, maybe a cold or some flu. But a lot of times all these riders deal with something during the season, whether it's a niggling injury or an actual injury or some sickness, but the battles are still tied up front.
Yeah, so Osborne, it's a survival day for him, dealing with an illness and dealing with the 6,000 feet of elevation here in Colorado. He's going to try to just hang on right now in 6th with Alex Martin 5th, Forkner 4th, Jeremy Martin 3rd. Second is Ferrandis at the head of this shot. And then just out of sight is Savatgy, your leader. The green Kawasaki trying to get away. And much like the first moto, it's been an exchange of mistakes, an exchange of good and bad lines. Just when you think Forkner is caught Martin, Martin catches Ferrandis. Just when you think Martin's going to get Ferrandis, Ferrandis pulls back away.
Yeah. Yep, that's just the nature of the track that we're seeing. It's really hard for these guys to nail every corner on every lap. And the harder guys try, it seems like the more the mistakes get exaggerated. So, a little tough.
To show you what it's like to be on board, we got the Garmin Verb 360 camera on Jeremy Martin. This is our course preview from earlier today. And by the way, it's the only 360 camera that can give you the onboard telemetry and data.
Yeah, what a great view there. See Harrison going around the outside. That's the Thunder Valley, top part of the track. You can see the elevation when you look at the background, how much it drops down. Great footage right here, side-by-side action.
So that was Jeremy in Moto 1, where he finished third. He's there trying to get to that spot in this one.
So Savatgy leads. Ferrandis making a thing out of being a second moto guy, at least in the first few rounds. But obviously with him getting caught in the gate in the first moto, that justifies things. Great ride to come through tonight. So past 31 riders, keep that in mind, first moto. And now in a good position to at least give himself a decent overall position. Yeah, he may not be on the podium, but if he could get to the front and win this moto, depending what happens behind, the podium overall is very much up for grabs.
Yeah, again, right now, Savatgy would have the overall win, but it's very early the way today has gone. The Martin brothers would be on the podium, Alex second and Jeremy third at the moment. And Forkner, he's on the outside looking in. He would be fourth overall if it ended like this. He's also fourth on the track, but he's got the most to gain. He's got Jeremy Martin and Ferrandis right in front of him, a three-rider duel for second. And they've actually pulled away a bit from Alex Martin, who's mired in fifth, so brilliant in the first moto, can't quite find the mojo in this one as Alex stuck back there and lost a second to this group last time around.
Yeah, it's amazing what a couple hours in the day can do to the track and to a rider even. We keep saying this track has changed so much, and we've seen riders struggle between the first, the middle, and the end part of a moto. And for Alex Martin, he wasn't outright, all in all, the fastest guy every lap in the first moto. In fact, I think he only had the fastest lap in the first lap or two, and then everyone else had good laps, bad laps, and just so inconsistent. But now that he's got a scrap for it, I think it's just a little bit different.
Great battle right here. Can Jeremy find a spot to get around Ferrandis, or will Forkner make the move on Martin? The Verizon IndyCar Series is on NBCSN. The next stop, Fort Worth, where a wild ride awaits on the new look Texas Motor Speedway. It's the Rain Guard Water Sealer 600, Saturday 8 Eastern on NBCSN. Crew's got a little bit of time to recover from the big Indy 500. They'll head down to Texas. This group in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross doesn't get much recovery time either. This is Moto 2 that you're watching. An hour ago we had Moto 1. It was one of the best races we've ever seen. We are halfway through this race. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go, and you can save 15% on your car insurance in 15 minutes if you call Geico. And the Geico Honda rider, Jeremy Martin on the number 6, is starting to close. This is second place, Dylan Ferrandis, the Frenchman, new to the United States this year. The Yamaha Star Racing Yamaha, but he is only clinging to that spot. Martin is trying to get it.
Oh yeah, Martin looks like he's got the pace. He puts it up the inside, he's got a short line, and he does get it done there.
Well, that is big for Jeremy, because we're watching not only the results in this moto, but we will combine them with the first moto scores to determine the overall winner. And right now, Savatgy would still have it, I believe, by 1 point over Jeremy Martin. So Savatgy would still be your overall winner. Jeremy has climbed up to second overall now, past his brother Alex. But he's got to get Savatgy for the moto win to win the overall today. But perhaps most important, every position in each moto is championship points, and they need them. And by the way, Ferrandis is not happy being passed. He's trying to come back.
Oh, this is good stuff right here. All these riders giving it everything they've got. And you know, you talked about if Jeremy Martin was able to get Joey Savacci, he would be in a position to go from winning the overall to not being on the podium at the end of the day. He would be on 39 points and put him in 5th position for the day. How crazy is that?
That's absolutely how this day has
One
gone.
pass would take him from 1st to 5th overall. I don't remember the last time I've ever actually said that or remember seeing it happen.
Today has been a day of surprises, no doubt. And I thought we saw everything that could happen last week at Glen Helen in our first motos. But now with, for example, Plessinger crashing in the lead and then his bike being on the blind side of a jump and having to go back to last place, that was also something new. It's like baseball. I always say every time you watch a game, you're going to see something you've never seen before. Hey, Jeremy Martin is starting to close on Joey Savacci. We might have a battle for the lead soon.
This is Groundhog Day from the first moto. Every time someone looked like they had control, it didn't happen. They either got passed, made a mistake, and it was complete yo-yo effect. So with over 10 minutes plus 2 laps and so many riders, look at this, the top 4 of less than 3 seconds behind.
Yeah, Fortner in 4th place is absolutely still in this one to potentially win the moto.
Yeah, all right there.
Yep.
All on our screen. That's when you know you got a tight battle. We used to see maybe 2, at worst 3 in the same shot. And look at that. Martin went to the inside. Oh, got a little hung up. Hold on there.
I want to watch Fortner in our first moto. It was about this time where he really hit the afterburners and started making moves. And you can see he's lurking. He almost tried to make a pass on Ferrandis. It actually cost him. He made a mistake while going for it. But the kid out of Missouri, second-year pro, could be one to watch here in 4th. Here's Ferrandis, the veteran out of France, now moving to the United States and impressing people with his speed and style. Can he stay in this fight all the way to the end, or is Fortner going to get him?
You know what? I actually wish I could give you a comeback to that one. I have no idea.
No,
because
not the way today's gone.
every lap's a yo-yo. Someone does well, someone struggles, and then it comes back. So it's really hard to predict, except I predict it'll be a tight finish.
Okay.
That's
well,
all
I
I'm
hope you're
predicting.
right. It's been fun to watch with the battles we've had today. At the moment, Joey Savacci, your leader, both in the moto and for the weekend overall.
So as you see the points across the top of the screen there, if anyone figured out what I was getting at, if Savacci was passed, the loss of 3 points would put him in 5th overall if everything else finished the same way. Crazy to think that, but it's been one of those days where, whatever you thought was going to happen, throw it out the window. It's been everything but that. But the one thing it has been is phenomenal to watch and to call. So Savacci's out front, and he would have the overall at the moment. Jeremy Martin is second in the moto and would be second in the overall, 1 point down. But like we keep saying, the scoring changes lap by lap depending on who passes who. And Fortner just needs to gain 1 more spot, and that would change everything as well.
Absolutely. So any of these 4 have got a shot at the moto win. They have dropped Alex Martin, their first moto winner. Just can't quite find the same form here. He is 8 seconds down in 5th. Cirillo has made some moves. He is 6th. Hill, Harrison, Osborne, Nichols, top 10. So the key to remember is that Osborne has gone backwards a bit here, all the way to 9th. So this is the day each one of these gliders has been looking for. They've all had some bad luck. Ferrandis didn't finish either moto at our opener after a big crash. Savacci had the mechanical problems at our last race. Martin had mechanical problems at our first race. They all needed something to go wrong for Osborne to get back in the title hunt. Today is the day. Osborne with an illness, struggling a bit. Osborne is on track to score only 19 championship points today. Meanwhile, Savacci could score 43. Savacci could make up more than 20 points, more than a full moto's worth of points potentially on Osborne, if this breaks down like this. And Osborne is losing.
I was going to say,
Osborne is dropping further as we're watching our timing and scoring. There could be a problem for the 16.
I was just looking as you were talking about the overall points, and something I believe has happened to Osborne. He has now been recorded in, he hasn't even come across the finish line.
Nope, he still hasn't completed this last lap around, so we might have even more drama in a championship that shouldn't have any? Or did we see him in the back? Could it be a transponder problem? Joey Savacci trying to hold on for the Moto and weekend overall win here at Thunder Valley in Colorado. And this would be especially huge for him, a rider who had so much bad luck. Last week his bike broke while he was battling for a top 3 for the weekend. He needs points. Jeremy Martin, his bike broke at our opener 2 weeks ago while he was battling up front. So these guys need a lucky break, and it might happen because our points leader, Zach Osborne, is having his problems in this Moto. He's dropping back quickly. He was 9th. He is now out of the top 10. So much on the line. Not only the race win, but championship points. These guys need them desperately to make up for the bad luck they've had so far.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think he could even write a script like this. But, yes, Osborne, unless he's got a transponder problem, he has just dropped off the radar. So this changes everything dramatically, not to mention just the overall. So at the moment, Savacci...
And Martin almost got him.
Martin had to look up the inside of Savacci. And this has got a big outcome on the overall. In fact, if Jeremy Martin passes Joey Savacci, Martin would be the overall winner. So this is for points. This is for the championship. Both these guys have had a mechanical already. They want this more than any other riders on the track, and I feel like they need it more than anyone.
And you can tell the intensity has picked up. They have pulled away from Ferrandis. They have pulled away from Fortner. They are going to settle it one-on-one. These guys both want it so bad. And when you're riding at altitude, when you had a super intense battle in the first Moto, when you rode so hard in the early parts of this one, now we're into the 25th minute of this race. These guys got to be an absolute red line right now, not just with the engines, but with the heart rates. Who's got more left in the tank? And look at how big the lead is now over third.
Yeah, these guys really putting the hammer down. And like you said, separated themselves. They're going to sort out the overall. At the moment, Savacci and Alex Martin will be tied for the overall based on their 4th and 1st Moto finishes. Jeremy with a 3rd and a 2nd would be 3rd overall. But should he pass Savacci, that changes everything big time.
Everything has changed. A couple of updates to give you here. Osborne, it was actually a problem with his transponder. He's still on track. He is in 8th place right now. So Osborne still going to lose a lot of points today, but he is still running. At one point, we thought he was out of this race.
Yeah, that's 8th place a lot better than a DNF's.
Oh, yeah.
Which we thought for a second there.
Now, another thing I want to mention is Ferrandis losing positions quickly. He has been passed by both Fortner and Alex Martin. So he has gone back from 3rd to 5th. And Fortner and Alex, they're all in the fight for the overall podium today. So let's just focus on this. These two, whoever wins the Moto, wins the weekend overall. Savacci versus Martin. But perhaps more important, there's a 3-point difference in the championship between a Moto win and a 2nd in a Moto. So that's what these guys are really thinking about.
I also think these guys are thinking about winning. You know, pretty simple. Every time you're on the track, you want to win. Oh, and the lapper almost got side by side there with Jeremy. But these are two riders I thought would be in the top 3 overall today coming into the event. Savacci rides well here. The first 2 rounds didn't go as well as in the past. And then for J-Mart, he had a DNF in the opening Moto of the season. So he knows he's got to catch up points. He's a 2-time champion. He wants this bad.
Absolutely. And we'll have a stretch run for you here on NBCSN. Savacci versus Martin for the overall win.
Small mistake there from Savacci. Gave a shot there for Martin. He is now as close as he's been all Moto. Look at this. He's got to look to the inside. He scrubs that jump. He stays low, tries to get the power of the grab. Savacci's got the outside where they use a little bit of the crown molding up there. Just give a little banking off that embankment. Oh, and you can also tell the braking bumps, the ruts, everything's just throwing these machines all over the place. You can see how much this track has dried out. You can see it's starting to become, you know, that light colored and shiny. That's where it gets slick at times.
This is incredible racing. Now they've got a big lead on Fortner, 7.5 seconds as they have picked up the pace to try to beat each other for the win. But every time you think somebody has this racetrack wired, 3 or 4 times Jeremy has taken a shot at Joey. Savacci's able to answer. Other side of the racetrack. This one, I think, has been a little bit better side of the track for Savacci. Let's see if Martin can hang close.
Yeah, it comes down to just not making those big mistakes. We've seen people constantly make mistakes, even in these tight little twisty windies, relatively slow speed, but it's not an even arc. You know, these ruts have big notches and holes and, as we call, hooks. You know, they almost come back on you at the exit. Even a little dust showing up right now, so you almost wonder, I wonder if these guys even changed tire compounds, because earlier in the day it was very ripped, very loamy, very wet and muddy, and you can see a lot of that hard base starting to come through. Well, we are on the side of the mountain, so that's why.
Yeah, the natural soil here is rock hard. Yeah. They bring in a lot of topsoil and sand, and they water it. They disc it up to the equipment to give it that softness. But by the end of the day, look what you're left with. It hardens back up. Savacci weathering the storm. About a lap ago, it looked like Martin was going to get him. But the Kawasaki man holding on right now.
Yeah, you got to feel like it's a two-way battle for this win.
Hey, Red Bull Signature Series is going to Hawaii, where surfers take on the world-famous Bonsai Pipeline at Volcom Pipe Pro. That's Saturday, 3 Eastern on NBC. Love the Red Bull Signature Series. Do some good things for the dirt bike riders as well. Right now, the battle is on for the win here in Colorado in the 250 class. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Joey Savacci on the number 17. Originally out of Southern California, whole family moved to Georgia so he could grow up and train at some of the famous riding facilities down there on the Florida-Georgia state line. Now he rides at the goat farm. That's Ricky Carmichael's ranch in Florida, Tallahassee. And all the lessons and all the drills that Ricky Carmichael's mom puts the riders through. The one I hear about the most is run and turn. Keep the leg up. Run and turn. Keep the leg up over and over and over. And that's the skill you need today. Can he get through these rutted corners error-free for 2.5 more laps and hold off Jeremy Martin?
Well, that's a key question. It is getting...
look at these corners, man.
Yeah, rough and nasty. They've actually worked on a couple of these insides between Moto 1 and Moto 2 because it was getting so bad. Guys were getting hung up. But Savacci looks like, at this point of the race, he's in his groove. But right when I say that, Martin is not letting him get away. I mean, he's right there. In fact, even though Savacci looked really good in those last few turns, I feel like Jeremy Martin's closed the gap. So now they're going to come up for the 2-lap card. This is going to be a 2-lap shootout.
Battle for the win here between these two, and they are not strangers to each other. In fact, at one point, they both were riding at the goat farm there in Florida. And having two very competitive people riding together does not always work out. Jeremy has moved on and rides in a different riding facility in Florida that they call the Nest now. It's actually your old place. The Nest, yeah, that's your old place. Moved on, changed ownership a couple times. That's where Jeremy does his training. And Savacci, not too far up the road. And here they are battling in Colorado. Whatever they're working on, it's worked out about the same.
So crazy. You got riders from all around the country, and they're all nestled in this area that if you threw a blanket over a 2-mile radius, you'd capture half the top 20 of both classes training down there.
Oh, yeah, the bicycle rides in the morning. They're all crisscrossing. Luckily they don't run into each other. They're all out in the cycles about 7:30 in the morning together.
I wonder if there's any dirty looks when they cross each other's paths.
You gotta wonder.
Or a smile and wink.
Especially when it gets down to this. I mean, this is pure competition right here. It's down to basically who's got the will to dig on this final lap and a half. And right now, I got to give the edge. Savacci pulled away a little bit.
Yeah, he's holding tough, and that's the thing with Savacci. You've seen him at times with pressure. He seems to struggle, and then other times he rises to it. And we know he likes his track because we've seen him do well here before. He handles these ruts very well. Comes over that triple step up over the Red Bull jump in front of the huge crowd. And yeah, like you said, just far enough away that Jeremy Martin cannot have a strike at him. As we
hold on third, which would be Forkner. There he is. He was in that fight with Savacci and Martin earlier, but they have stepped up and pulled away. Our next rider in line is Alex Martin. And wait a minute. Alex Martin, as he has climbed up, at one point he was 5th. He got around Ferrandis, so now he's 4th. If Alex Martin can pass Forkner, he will actually leapfrog back past Savatgy to win the weekend's overall. He would have a 1st and a 3rd, whereas Savatgy would have a 4th and a 1st. So 2 different ways this could swing. Jeremy Martin could pass Savatgy. He could take the overall win. Or Alex Martin could pass Forkner. He would have the overall win. So all 3 of these riders have a shot at it with a lap to go. And that's a fitting ending for what has been a spectacular day of racing in the 250 class.
Basically, 1 point separates the first 4 in the overall at the moment. 2 riders on 43, 2 riders on 42. This is
Savatgy, this would be so huge for him. Heartbreaking end to Supercross. He had the title in his grasp until the next to last turn of the season, when Zach Osborne caught him and put him on the ground with a hard pass. And there were a lot of people worried that Savatgy would kind of have the hangover from that, a Vegas hangover of a different kind, where he'd be so bummed over losing that title. Would he be able to get his mojo back here for Motocross? And the first 2 rounds were okay. But if he gets the overall win today, especially under this kind of pressure, that's going to be the jolt of confidence he needs.
That's just going to really throw this whole championship back on its head. Osborne dominated round 1. Won round 2, wouldn't say dominated, but he won it.
Yeah.
You'd say it was the best rider on the day. He struggled a little bit today, and he did say he's been under the weather, and I think you've got to factor that in. But the rest of the guys have really been pushing it. As you can see right now, the number 6, it's half a lap to go. It's the end of the day. He wants this. The 17, they both had mechanical issues in the first 4 motos of the season. They both want this more than you can ever imagine right now.
And the crowd that's gathered on the hillside cheering both of them. Phenomenal racing from the very beginning to the very final lap of the 250 class. And Jeremy Martin is not out of it. He's trying to get Savatgy through these ruts. And yes, there are some passing opportunities in these final couple of quarters.
1 minor bobble from the 17, and this could change everything. He looks good right now. This camera shot great as these guys almost clip the camera. Savatgy giving it everything he's got. So is Jeremy Martin. He wants this really bad. We know Martin's a hard charger at the end of the race.
Oh, Martin's closed. It's about as close as he has been in the last 4 laps. He's right there. Savatgy's got to clear this jump clean.
He looks over his shoulder. He knows he's there.
All right, 1 turn to go. Martin's going to try to rail the outside. Right down to the checkers. Savatgy holds on and wins the moto and the overall. And that is huge for a rider that started the year with some bad feelings and some bad luck. That is going to be a gigantic smile on that young man's face.